Testing, test. Episode 6, Volume 2. I can't believe we come this far. I'm feeling rather blue because my wife is gone. I really feel like I was gonna rhyme, but then I just sort of missed the time. But I guess it's time. Now that I say that, I don't know. I was trying to do some kind of weird intro thing. Look, I want to be real with you guys. I got some feedback from the most important person in the world to me, my biggest fan, my one and only. And she was telling me that the show had it was kind of hard to watch the show. Not only because of the sickening theme song that I've replaced, finally got rid of that piece of shit, Doc Spacely. And not just because the content I'm making in and of itself is bad, although it might be. Who has opinion, I guess. But more so that the presentation was off, that the ideas weren't clear, that it would help if I were to introduce what I'm doing instead of just cutting straight to it. So for this episode, Blue Jacket, I'm going to try really hard to explain everything you're seeing, sort of go through what I'm doing, explain the concepts behind what I'm doing so that I can let you guys in on the sort of goal. And that way it doesn't come across so disjointed and weird and hard to understand. It's easy for me to understand because I'm doing it, but I think a lot of people who've watched the show maybe tune out because they don't quite get what I'm doing. For those of you who don't know, everything on the Creepy for Sale show, I make. The commercials, the animations, the game captures, the short films, the music, every single thing you see, down to the texture assets are made by me. Aside from a couple of LUT packs that I bought and some, the occasional GIF to use for looping. Really, I make pretty much every asset that you see in the show, every aspect of the show. And I've really enjoyed doing that. And I want to continue to do that. And in order to continue to do that, I think it makes sense for me to kind of let you guys in on the process of making all this stuff. So hopefully you can enjoy the journey as much as I do, seeing my music progress, seeing the animations progress, the circuit bending, everything. But just in case you guys thought I was losing my edge, I thought here's a great example of a way I can set up something that out of context is probably ridiculous and impossible to follow. So here is proof that I am still creepy, a short music jam, experimental noise video that I made where I recorded myself playing around with some instruments I have at the office with my phone. I did about 3 takes, and then I layered the footage over each other. And when I was shooting, I used a lot of strobe lights. So when I layered the footage, it appears like it's coming in and out of existence. And then I took the already pretty nonsensical music and I chopped and screwed it to all match the same time lengths. So it ended up coming out pretty cool, I thought. It's pretty crazy. But I like it. So without further ado, here is proof that I'm still creepy, a noise jam session.
Everybody, love you guys. A rato, gato.
Ner TV Subscriber Day.
Okay, I'm guessing I edited that correctly. Hopefully that made that a lot easier to watch. Because just throwing that in there with the only setup being, you don't think I'm creepy, check this out. Probably a funny joke, but it makes the content less enjoyable to watch. So hopefully me explaining what I was doing in that video gives it more joy and more, I don't know, how do I put this? Makes it more enjoyable to watch. I mean, I already said it a few times. I feel like the pre-roll's starting to hit me and I'm rambling my words here. This next clip, really there's only one setup for this next clip. It's a game capture from GTA Online, one of my favorite playgrounds to capture footage from. And the only setup is, I wonder if they know how they drift in Tokyo. Take it away. All right. Now, you're probably wondering what the mask is about. Um, Other than matching my jacket, I've been struggling with the creepy or funny path ever since I started doing stand up again earlier this year. I've had friends who see me do stand up say that I don't need to use the creepy for sale shit. I don't necessarily need to go by creepy. My jokes and the material I'm working on works in and of itself, and I wholly appreciate that feedback. And I have other people who watch the show who are really into the experimental horror visual aspects, wondering what is supposed to be a joke, what isn't supposed to be a joke, is it creepy or is it funny? And I think that is something I've been struggling with a lot the filming of this episode. And in fact, last night I attempted to what I'm doing right now, filming this intro segment, this hosting segment, I should say, or the overworld segment for the episode. And I didn't have the mask. I was just me, and I was talking, and there was something about it that wasn't creepy. It was almost as if I was having a production meeting with you behind the scenes, and I was kind of sullen, and I wasn't really myself. I was pretty down on everything that I was doing, and I think I was trying to convince myself that what I was doing was the right thing, and that what I'm doing is good. Because maybe on some level I'm still questioning whether or not I'm doing the show correctly, which I struggle with. It's my show. I get to decide what's correct, but as the captain of this ship, I still want to make sure I'm going the right way and I don't hit any icebergs. And so, how that relates to the mask is, I've decided that the Creepy for Sale show is going to be home to all things creepy. And I mean creepy. Not unlike the video I just showed or the concepts that I'm going to be dealing with. I really do want this show to be my Monty Python's Flying Circus for the absurd, hyper dark, hyper disturbing sense of humor that I have. And I'm hoping that this show can be the place where my horror passions, my horror love, my film love, my love for creativity can really blossom and be the yin to the yang that is my stand-up, where I really just want to make you laugh. And maybe it's a little dark, maybe it's a little blue, pun intended. But ultimately, it's comedy. I'll be a comedian. If you come to see me at any live show, you will be going to laugh and have a good time, and you don't have to worry about the show attacking you like this show might. But if you're one of those people that really likes the weird experimental film things that I get up to, or that I'm capable of, or that spurns me, ideas that spurn me in the middle of shopping at Goodwill or finding things like this blue hat. So the blue hat is supposed to symbolize my embracing of the creepy path on this show, my embracing of doing things the creepy way when it could be easy to just, drop it and be Ray Martinez, be a comedian, have a podcast, like horror movies and stuff, but get rid of all of the shit. Stop gluing toys together. Stop making masks. Stop coming up with ideas for weird horror movies. Stop cutting the holes out of beanies and wearing them as masks. Hanging frames from garage doors. Pinning blankets behind you for backgrounds. I could stop all of that and just be funny. But I really don't want to, because I really love doing this shit. It's a passion, and it'll always be my passion. and I'm never going to stop pushing myself to make it a reality. And so I'm wearing this mask as a sign of my commitment to following this path to its fullest extent. And hopefully one day this show will be so big, there'll be a crew of people working with me to pump out short films and sketches and interviews and explorations into every little thing that I can come up with. And I'm hoping you will follow me on this journey as I go down that path. And I thank you for letting me rant there a little bit. I'm going to have another segment coming up, but I really wanted to... I really wanted to get it off my chest because I've been struggling with it. And I felt that I needed to finally have an answer, not only to myself, but to you guys, the audience, because without you, there is no show. So let me relight this. And on that note, I'm going to send you to a little time lapse I did with a bunch of clocks. I'm going to keep experimenting with these clocks in the future, but for now, check out this little time lapse that I call the Clock King. Clock King. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. I keep looking over here like there's someone sitting there. I'm really excited where this show is going. I'm really excited to keep sharing stuff with you. This next segment, I believe, will be a Sid segment. Truth be told, he has not sent me his files yet. I asked him to do kind of a longer one because there's not going to be an analog asylum this week. And I get a chance to pre-make any DVDs to Circuit Bend. And to be honest, I think maybe the analog asylum isn't the most popular segment of the show. So, if you don't know who Sid is, check out episode 3, where we get a little bit of his backstory and why he does what he does. But we were able to maintain a working relationship with him. He's sort of a recluse. He doesn't post on social media or anything. But he he sends me his clips, and we were happy to put him on the show. We met at a Goodwill. We were both trying to buy similar stuff, and he showed me some of the things he made. I showed him some of the things I've made, and we really hit it off as friends. And I asked him if he wanted to be a part of the show, and I equipped him with a old action camera I had, and he's just been churning them out ever since. So you want more of his story, go check out episode 3. American Toy Story. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Toy Box Sid.
And now, the joy of crafting with Toy Box Sid on the Creepy for Sale Show Network.
I'm dying. I'm done. Okay. Nice. Getting to the end of the show here, the meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes. No nostalgia hole this week. I wasn't able to get to the studio. I've been working here at home. Also, I didn't really have a jump off point for Blue. I guess I could have talked about Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, but I don't know where I would go with that. Instead, I'm going to let this little piece of archival footage that I've put together. Let's hope it doesn't get me copyright struck. I don't think so. They're all pretty fucking short, but I thought it would be funny to compile a bunch of stuff from VHSs that I've ripped. So FBI warnings, home video intros. The crown jewel is there are some Japanese and Korean early CG commercials in there. I won't spoil anything more of what they're about. I kind of did spoil it, but they're really cool. They're worth watching. So I'm going to let that archival footage play. I made a little bit of music. It's a little techno beat, a little experimental music shit that I made. It's going to be playing under it. But this little jam / archival footage is called FBI Warning. And it's pretty cool. So here it is.
나는 세안의 미니 디스크.
정보 축적 기술도 세한이 앞서갑니다. 기술 특급 세한.
Okay, I guess we're back. It's March. I guess it's Leprechaun season. You guys a big fan of the Leprechaun franchise? Warwick Davis. Who's better, the Leprechaun or Evil Easter Bunny? Well, I guess Evil Easter Bunny is more of a April thing. Who is the March Madness? The March Madness of March killers. So, Leprechaun, evil NCAA mascots. That was kind of hard. It's kind of hard to think of stuff that happens in March. St. Patrick, I guess. I'm gonna say the Syracuse Orange. Pull up a picture of the Syracuse Orange. That guy's pretty fucking scary. I'm gonna nominate the Syracuse Orange as my March creepy character of the month. Congrats, Syracuse Orange. Probably really big win for you. My creepy song of the month. The theme of Blue Jacket, Code Blue by TSOL. Go give that a listen. It's about being attracted to dead bodies. Always been one of my favorite songs. What else we got? What's another blue? I'm not sponsored by Blue Chew, but I guess that's another blue thing. Blue beards are men who marry rich women and kill them are bluebeards. They are the opposite of the gold digger. There's a really famous bluebeard from the past that I'm forgetting his name, but here's where that whole concept comes from. Blue. Violet Beauregard or whoever turns into a big blueberry in Willy Wonka. That's blue. Obviously blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Perfect Blue. It's another one. Is Perfect Blue the anime movie? That's really sad. And then Blue Crush is a surf movie, I believe. I think that's right. Blue Raspberry. I don't know why. I guess they just ran out of shades of red for candy. Blue. Bluey. There's a little dog. Blue's Clues. Those are all the blue things I can think of. Or things named blue. I mean, obviously there's things that are blue. The sky, water, blueberries. What can I think of it? The Blu-ray discs. Cobalt type of blue. The Cobalt Blue Game Boy Advance SP. Had one of those. All right. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore, guys. This has been episode 6. Blue Jacket. I don't think I have any other clips. Probably throw in some commercials in between the clips that I introduced. If I was able to pull that off. And I just want to say thanks for watching this show, you guys. I was kind of stalled out on it for a little while, trying to find the answers to the path of creepy or funny or creepy, normal or weird, my way or the way that works for YouTube. And I think I found my answer. I found my path. I'm going to follow my own heart. I'm going to see where it takes me. I'm going to journey into the deep depths of my imagination. We're going to have an amazing show going forward. And I think that will lead to success the more I commit to being myself. So until next time, this is a Creepy for Sale show saying Azul, a blue Monday. I don't know. It's blue. Blue jacket. Thanks for watching. Blue bye. Credits are rolling.